Know your role and shut your mouth, you jabroni.
But first.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I see that Dallas redeemed the first reward here for 50 channel points here on Tagged Up Tyler. Today on Monday Mayhem on April 28th, 2025, we are getting ready to get down and dirty with the action here. We're going to switch things over and we got our first match here on the card. Our first match will be El Tigre de Purpura taking on Brandon Galaxy. I did not see that. Prediction is live, ladies and gentlemen. I guarantee you the start thing isn't for the intro. Just gonna have them. Love to see it. TWF Monday Mayhem is live here in Indianapolis, Indiana. We have a lot of high-stake cards here coming up for you as TWF is gearing up to get a couple more ladies under their way on our roster, and we're going to embark over to England for Monarchy Mayhem, a 16-man tournament to crown the King of the Ring, and a 16-woman tournament same night to crown the Queen of the Ring. We'll also be having Philly Pandemonium coming up, Riots in LA, and more. TWF is planning to expand its horizons and grow its roster ever more, and make it as big as the Galaxy can handle. Speaking of Galaxy, the King of the Galaxy, the former TWF World Heavyweight Champion, Brandon Galaxy, made his return last night. He is back and he is hunting heads, as he said backstage. Bro did not need to climb over the top rope like that, but he did that. El Tigre de Purpura and Brandon Galaxy. Two high flyers here in this matchup, getting ready to go at it. As El Tigre starts it off hot with a drop kick to Brandon Galaxy and a springboard Phoenix splash. Jesus. Cover here. Only a one count as Brandon Galaxy is able to kick out here. Throws a big kick. Tigre de Purpura. Very upset being excluded to the openers. Relegated to bringing in the new talent once again. He said he wants to make it known here tonight, but Brandon Galaxy trying to make a name for himself yet again in the TWF. Trying to grow the Grow up in the ranks. Off the ropes. Slams him down. TWF has gotten a surge of luchadors here in 2K24. Some very agile light heavyweights. And with just like with that being said, El Tigre de Purpura with a diving hurricanrana from the top rope to Brandon Galaxy out on the floor. Referee will start their count. Traditional 20 counts in effect here. They have the 60-minute time limit to take all that time and more for this match. In theory, this show can run for 7 hours. 9 hours, because there's 9 matches. Oh my god. A double, that neck breaker right against the LED sign here on Monday Night Mayhem. Live in Indianapolis, Indiana. Home of Dylan Storm. You know, Kennedy Ann took a big beating last night and she is not doing well. She's still currently recovering in the hospital after the vicious Iron Woman match. But I'm not sad as fuck. I mean, I assume it's that, not sad AF, FFF. What's up? We're currently here on TWF Mondays Mayhem. El Tigre de Purpura is shouting to the heavens here in Indianapolis, trying to get the big momentum win over Brandon Galaxy. Brandon Galaxy throws El Tigre to the side here. Big chop here delivered by El Tigre de Purpura and a Northern Light suplex. El Tigre going back into the ring now as Brandon Galaxy tries to pull himself up. Brandon Galaxy, a former World Heavyweight Champion, makes his return back to TWF here tonight. Brandon Galaxy saying he's the whole fucking show here tonight. But we'll have to see if he is the barn burner and the one that's going to steal the show away. The quick roll-up cover, but El Tigre able to kick out. Brandon Galaxy not getting enough air for that springboard, but able to catch whatever El Tigre de Purpura had. Tigre de Purpura, the purple tiger, if you translate that to English, is taking a beating here by the ruler of the galaxy, Brandon Galaxy. Sad AF, actually. Got you. A big kick. You guys throwing big shots at one another, but El Tigre de Purpura not able to get the inverted Frankensteiner. Brandon Galaxy goes to the opposite corner as he runs and turns. Oh, geez. What happened? Why did my capture card stop working? Brandon Galaxy, as we come back to our match, flying through the air into a springboard. All right, Sad AF. I appreciate you stopping by the stream here as Tagged Up Tyler is hosting your Monday Mayhem, your fix of wrestling here on TWF or on Twitch. Brandon Galaxy going for the cover and El Tigre de Purpura kicking out. TWF brings you the hot wrestling action. Tags Wrestling Federation. All the wrestlers are made by you at home. Brandon Galaxy made by one of the viewers. El Tigre de Purpura, one of the viewers. And all the others. And I'm your host and commissioner of the show, Tagged Up Tyler, ladies and gentlemen. Brandon Galaxy with a big springboard forearm trying to take down El Tigre de Purpura. Goes up top. And a double rotation moonsault, but El Tigre was able to get up quickly. The lateral press by Brandon Galaxy trying to return to form. And El Tigre de Purpura able to kick out and showcase why Brandon Galaxy, showcase why he is in here in the TWF. Showcasing that he is a tough competitor and he has the fortitude, the will to live, the will to be the best. That's what all of these fighters here in TWF have in common. Oh, going for a big chop of Brandon Galaxy with a reversal. Delivers one of his own. Oh, keeping the momentum in his corner, firmly planted, and a spin kick. El Tigre not feeling good after seeing the King of the Galaxy return. A big belly to back suplex, tossing him overhead. They go behind. German suplex into a belly to back suplex into an atomic drop. El Tigre can't be feeling good as he goes for the ride off the ropes. What a reversal jawbreaker, stopping whatever Brandon Galaxy had scouted. That double arm DDT by El Tigre de Papura. Will this be enough to get the win here? I mean, if you stick around, I want to show you some of the graphic design stuff that I've been doing for, you know, the wrestlers that joined TWF. You know, I put in some work. I do dibble and dabble in graphic design. El Tigre de Papura fighting tooth and nail, trying to take out Brandon Galaxy. El Tigre picks him up for the power bomb. Lifts him up, sits out, lifting him up that extra inch. The last ride sit out power bomb. El Tigre de Papura thinks that's going to be enough to take out the former World Heavyweight Champion Brandon Galaxy. Galaxy made his return to TWF last night at the Crosstown Classic in Chicago, Illinois. El Tigre goes behind, hooks both arms, double dragon suplex. El Tigre de Papura picking up the win here against Brandon Galaxy. El Tigre de Papura showcasing the finest skills, and that's a bad replay. And referee's in the way for that one. A springboard outside moonsault by Brandon Galaxy, showing that he might have a little bit of ring rust, but he is still a former World Heavyweight Champion and a 3-time Junior Heavyweight Champion here in TWF. And he's ready to get back in the ring. A double rotation moonsault. I thought that was going to put away El Tigre de Papura here earlier in the match, but he fought on valiantly to get the win over Brandon Galaxy in this one, in our opening contest on Monday Mayhem, ladies and gentlemen. Double arm DDT taking him down, going quick for the cover.
Here is your winner.
El Tigre de Papura with a big win here tonight, celebrating here in Indianapolis, knowing that the fans here love all the luchador stylings and the high-flying action. And you know El Tigre de Papura has got to be looking forward and have the TV title set in his sightlines soon enough with a big win over the former World Heavyweight Champion Brandon Galaxy. I mean, I've been doing some renders of the wrestlers here in TWF to make them look more realistic and they look like they belong in the game. You know, and as we come into our next match, we're gonna see the Mad Dog Miller take on the leader of the Chaos Club, Richard Mason. We're gonna get a prediction on the line, ladies and gentlemen. El Tigre took the win in that last one. Mason. Prediction is live, ladies and gentlemen, as I bet you I didn't turn on entrances, though. Ed. The Mad Dog Miller making his way to the ring back home in Indiana, where he trained to get his license to be a professional wrestler. Now he's making it on the big time here on the big screen.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring
Here on TWF. The Mad Dog Miller celebrating Gloria, the fans cheering him on as he knows he's got a big match ahead of him, taking on Richard Mason. Richard Mason, current hardcore champion. Lights out champion. It's also, it looks to be 1,000 channel points on Richard Mason. For those of you who want to gamble your channel points, A big payout's coming your way if you think that the Mad Dog Miller will defeat Richard Mason. Mad Dog Miller makes his way to the ring and is returned back to Indiana after a long excursion away playing hockey down in Florida. The current Lights Out champion, Richard Mason.
Weighing in at 360 pounds, the Action Champion, the Brawler,
Richard Mason looking for new competition for his TWF Lights Out championship. Won that last night from Harrison B in a Lights Out match. If you guys don't know what a Lights Out match is, it's kind of like a submission match, except for there's no ropes, and the referee will call a match if you are completely knocked out. It is a brutal match here in TWF, and Richard Mason proving that he's one of the hardest hitting motherfuckers to do it here in TWF. Richard Mason in a non-title matchup, just a regular one-on-one match here on Monday Mayhem, will be facing the Mad Dog Miller. Throwing a big kick. Mad Dog Miller starting off hot here, trying to get a big win over a Lights Out champion, moving him up in the rankings. Might even put him in the rankings for the Lights Out championship. Richard Mason in the first ever match for the inaugural Lights Out championship match, losing that to Harrison B. Went on a small journey to find himself here in TWF. He came back to face him and took the title off of him, proving that he has what it takes to be a Lights Out champion. Mad Dog Miller, on the other hand, making his debut in the Grand Prix Tour Champions for Season 2 in TWF. Technically, now we're in Season 4. Mad Dog Miller making a big appearance, making his debut in that tournament, the Grand Prix Tour Champions, knowing that he was a former hockey playing champion in high school. The Cactus signed him and said, there's a good chance that he might be a good wrestler. And he took to the TWF like a fish to water, finding other former hockey players like the current active wrestler Doom Nibis, or even the Cactus, who enjoys a game of hockey from time to time. But Richard Mason and the Mad Dog Miller facing each other, chops after chops, ladies and gentlemen. Who will give up in this matchup? Who will the Lights Out champion fight to his end? Or will he see the 1-2-3 pinned on him by the Mad Dog Miller? Will we see Richard Mason take the glory and the win here tonight in Monday Mayhem in Indianapolis, Indiana? Throwing big punches. Oh, quick schoolboy roll up. Referee comes for the pin. In the corner now, Richard Mason cutting off his own momentum. Not sure what he wanted to do there, and the Mad Dog Miller able to find an opening for him to get an attack in. A sit-out execution, shades of the wrestler Adam Copeland, or Cope in AEW. Diving double foot stomp. An enziguri from the Mad Dog. Mad Dog Miller has his accolades here. A former one-time World Heavyweight Champion, wasn't able to win it back in his rematch. A former two-time Junior Heavyweight Champion and a three-time Tag Team Champion. He's done quite a bit here in the TWF. Loading over those steel steps. Collar and elbow tie up. And sends him into the ring. Richard Mason following right behind him and takes a kick right to the knee of the Mad Dog as he goes up top, ascending the turnbuckles and looking for something dastardly, and a big elbow drop to the back of Richard Mason. Covers him here. Referee going for the cover here. For those of you just joining us for TWFB. Ooh, excuse me. This is our second match of the evening as Richard Mason and the Mad Dog Miller facing each other as the Mad Dog locks on a quick figure four to weaken Richard Mason's legs. There's a big punch as Richard Mason with the go behind. Sidewalk slam, taking him down with the cover. Only a one count as the Mad Dog Miller showing why he's a former world heavyweight champion here. Mad Dog Miller been on quite the journey here. Hasn't wrestled in about 4 months here on TWF, and signing back on when the 2K25 season came around. He said, I'm ready here, coach, put me in, I'm ready to play. And he's been fighting with some of the big dogs that have been contending towards the end of the 2K24 season that have been making a name for themselves in his absence. Richard Mason, the current lights out champion in a non-title matchup, showcasing why he has the brutality inside of him, the lengths he's willing to go with a superplex. This is why he is our current lights out champion. The Mad Dog Miller bleeding, looks like it's cut right above his eyebrow. He's just busted all over. Can't seem to pick up Richard Mason's Mason. Seems like he's running on a V8 cylinder here, baby. All American horsepower power in that man. There's a sign for the Mad Dog Miller. The Chaos Club, bigger than we think here in TWF. And a big shoulder tackle taking the Mad Dog Miller out to the ring. Ringside, excuse me. A knee by Richard Mason as the onslaught continues here. Diving knee strike from Richard Mason, something that would be deemed a knockout blow, but not to the Mad Dog Miller, a man who's played 5 seasons in the EASHL. There's a reason we call him the Mad Dog, and it's because he's a madman on the ice, almost like a crazy Rottweiler that wants to kill you. He lays out big hits and scores big goals and makes big passes. He said he wants to try his hand at wrestling, and that's why he signed up here. Formerly in the stable here on TWF, known as the Emo Boys. We've seen them since disband and go their own ways. I hear the enforcer of the Emo Boys, Marcus, is a family man now. As Richard Mason, though, a lariat to a bulldog out of the corner, going for the cover. Is that going to be enough to put away the Mad Dog Miller here? As Mad Dog getting his shoulder up just in the nick of time, continuing to fight tooth and nail. And the Stone Cold Stunner by Richard Mason, putting the Mad Dog Miller away here tonight. A big elbow drop by Richard Mason, taking him down. Richard Mason proving why he is a current lights out champion, defeating Harrison B last night. Harrison B issuing a challenge to him, saying that he will take him on in a backstage brawl, knockouts only, for that lights out championship. And Richard Mason, they said he would accept it at the upcoming pay-per-view. Richard Mason firing on all cylinders, and the Mad Dog Miller not able to get a true foot in the door here on this matchup.
Here is your winner, the Brawler, Richard Mason.
We love to hear that, Troy. Speaking of which, Troy, you might want to stick around, because in our next matchup, we're gonna see, I believe, it's either your match is next or it's soon. Oh, it's now your match is 3 away. Whoops, my bad. Up next, we have the James Gang taking on Truth and Consequences. Non-title matchup. The champions challenge taking on the #1 contenders. The James Gang said they're not, or the James Gang winning the titles here, and said that they're going on a long journey with those tag team titles here. The TWF taking over a year for them to get them, but both men who won those titles have many accolades on their names here in the TWF. Matthew James, the longest reigning TWF heavyweight champion, a 3-time United States champion, a 1-time junior heavyweight champion, a former hardcore champion, a triple crown champion. His brother Nick James, a list of accomplishments that are maybe a little shorter but just as important. A 1-time triple crown champion, a one-time world heavyweight champion, a 2-time tag team champion, a 2-time hardcore champion, a 2-time intercontinental champion, and a 1-time junior. And now newly added to their list of accolades here in the TWF, they've added the tag team championships. Finally, something that they said they've set out to do. The James Gang celebrating in the ring with their tag team championships. Those Twitch tag team titles, bringing the word of tag team wrestling to you beautiful viewers sitting at home. TWF live in Indianapolis, Indiana here tonight. The #1 contenders taking a non-title matchup here tonight on Mayhem. These guys are 5-0 in tag team matches. D'Angelo Marcus walking out with the green shades and his partner Maverick Blade. They form Truth and Consequences. Truth and Consequences. Ready for a big matchup here against the James Gang. Nick James will be starting off as D'Angelo Marcus starting off in this one. Predictions live, ladies and gentlemen. Get your channel points in. Who do you think will win? Will it be Truth and Consequences, or will it be your tag team champions, the James Gang? $2,000 tokens bet on Truth or Consequences. Okay, let's hit this dude with a ban hammer because he's a fucking bitch. Referee at a 6 count, trying to bring them back in the ring as Maverick Blade throws a big punch on Nick James. TWF live here in Indianapolis, home of Dylan Storm. Kennedy Ann not doing well after her match last night, affiliated with the core. Matthew James not looking happy against facing Truth and Consequences, especially after the cheap tactics that they've been using. And a sling blade by Nick James. A lariat taking him down. And a hot tag by D'Angelo Marcus to Maverick Blade. Matthew James sent it into the corner, and D'Angelo Marcus looking for a big move here. But Matthew James takes a chop right to the chest as D'Angelo Marcus sends him into the corner. You know he's got to be looking for the judge, jury, and execution with Maverick Blade. That powerbomb leg drop combo, it's vicious. As D'Angelo Marcus picks him up for a powerbomb of his own, changes his mind, and snake eyes across the rope as he bounces back onto the mat. D'Angelo Marcus, the powerhouse, climbing up to Brett's rope, second rope, looking for a big move here. Shout out to OSW. D'Angelo Marcus stalking his prey, like watching a deer try to claim him away. But he might have waited too long as Matthew James realized the danger he was in. The veteran instincts. The tag teams here, I mean, they may be only a one-time tag team champions, but these two guys have so many accolades in the TWF that it's scary to come up against these guys in tag team competition or singles action. Nick James and Matthew James are both big competitors here. It's Shades of the Rhodes Warriors, a doomsday device by Truth and Consequences. Taking him down, Maverick Blade fighting Nick James. Matthew James hasn't been tagged into this matchup. $2,000 tokens bet on Truth and Consequences. None bet on the James gang themselves. At the 9 count, referee getting to a 10, but they're both in the ring. These guys fighting tooth and nail, trying to figure out who is the best of all time. Trying to figure out who's tougher than a $2 stake. Who is the one that can take the most punishment? Who are the team that truly deserves the tag team titles? As D'Angelo Marcus and Maverick Blade using another brilliant tag team move here against the James gang, proving that they were almost made to be perfect tag team wrestlers. Yeah, Troy, let me hear the idea. Matthew James said he's paid by the hour, not by the match. So he's taking his time here. And D'Angelo Marcus work himself into a fuss. A tag here made by the James gang. Picks him up. Wheelbarrow DDT. No, a wheelbarrow twist of fate by Matthew James and Nick James. Nick James didn't even notice that he's busted open here, ladies and gentlemen. Troy, we could, you know what? We could do that. You know what? Brandon Galaxy did a mask versus hair match against El Fuego Loco, where El Fuego Loco got to keep his mask and Brandon Galaxy was bald. He just got his hair back like 6 months later. And a beautiful tag team move by the James gang, proving that they have the tag team knowledge on how to be a cohesive unit. The James gang, formed of Nick and Matthew James and their sister Samantha. The brothers here did not get along when they first came to TWF, drawing bloodbaths against each other, causing each other to lose every tag team titles. I don't like to do career stuff very often. It's a very, very rare stipulation here in TWF. It's only happened twice. So I try to keep it a very... The first time was Dylan Storm said, if I don't win the World Heavyweight Championship here tonight, I vow to retire, and he won the world title. And he's like, well, I'm not retiring anymore because I'm the champion. Dylan Arc again. And the second time was Garrett Rogers basically like, we're here in Chicago. I need the belt. I need to do this in front of my home crowd. And if I don't do it, I don't deserve to be a wrestler anymore, and I'm going to retire. Gary Rogers, our current world heavyweight champion, getting a big win. Richard Mason accidentally got double booked here tonight. Richard Mason will be in a tag team contest with the world's heavyweight champion. Mason did get a win over him, but he is the current lights out champion, and Harrison B wants a match against him. He wants to get that title match soon, but Commissioner Cactus said he's going to hold off a little bit and let these guys really rest up. But if they really wanted a match, they could have a tag team match. And Harrison B's partner for that main event matchup here tonight will be none other than Jack Powell, the man that has been giving Garrett Rogers a run for his money, but proving that he's not an old dog. Scott wrench onto Matthew James, and oh, he looked like he was going to powerbomb him right onto that guardrail. Luckily, D'Angelo Marcus, knowing that he didn't want to pay for the hospital bill of any uberly injured wrestlers. Angelo Marcus stepping over those steps and gets back into the ring here on Monday Night Mayhem. TWF runs here on 5 p.m. every Monday with Monday Mayhem at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Then we also have TWF Turbo also on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll let you guys, if you join the Discord, we'll let you guys know when we have even more pay-per-views coming up and what other streams Tagged Up Tyler has planned up. A big cover, tries to go for a headlock, but D'Angelo Marcus fighting tooth and nail, not letting Nick James get out of there. Maverick Blade taking some chops from Nick James here now. Billy James just woke up. Your sleep schedule is as fucked as Matthew James. The DDT by D'Angelo Marcus here. D'Angelo Marcus with I thought he was going for a neck breaker, but a quick roll up instead. But hello, James. Good morning. It's 5 p.m., so I had a beer. Bet. Because, yeah, if you notice, if I lean back, you'll notice. I don't know what I did to it. I didn't do anything crazy to it. I didn't recline in it. I literally just sat in the chair. I got up, got in to do some work this morning on my computer, and I'm like, why does this feel weird? And then it just, oh God, oh God. It was one of those things that, like, if I was streaming, it would be really fucking funny to see. Hey, you know what? It did me fine for while I was here, bro. You know, and I'm willing to buy a new chair. I just gotta buy other things first. Oh, and I fucking left the window open. A fly flew in. God damn it. I hate it here. The tag by D'Angelo Marcus. But Nick James looking for a... No, I'm totally with you. They're a waste of money, and they're not even that comfortable. I want something that's going to be really comfortable to sit in for 6 to 7 hours. A spear by D'Angelo Marcus, turning Nick James in half, but Matthew James there to save him. Maverick Blade working over the knee of Nick James, the new World Tag Team Champions here in TWF. They won those. For sure. Maverick Blade breaking up the tag here. Collar and elbow. These two teams giving it their all, proving that the James gang don't want to lose even when it's a non-title matchup. And Truth and Consequences proving that they want to get a big win over the tag team champions here tonight on Monday Mayhem. What up, Jonesy? I was Salami Slayers. A recliner input by D'Angelo Marcus onto Matthew James, the current tag team champions. Bro, I gotta show you. Hey, you know what? 7 draws isn't even that bad. I'd rather have 7 draws than 7 losses. Matthew James trying to give a reality check right into. D'Angelo Marcus might not be able to kick out of this, but he digs deep. Think about it this way: it would be 20 losses if there was no draws. So I'd rather take a draw than losses. The Doom Nib is here in TWF, has been showing some winning ways. He is off here tonight. He'll be back on Thursday. Turbo, airing at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. I just get out of work. I get out of work around 4 p.m. so I'm able to stream at 5. It works a lot better that way if I just move to 5 p.m. Shoulder thrust. Truth and Consequences both down on the ground, but Maverick Blade getting up quickly. Doom Nivis on Chicago's Crosstown Classic last night proved that he is showing old ways of himself, running through Dennis Lawrence in a one-on-one matchup. Oh, a big chop right to the chest of Maverick Blade as Matthew James firing up and looking for a big spear and takes down Maverick Blade, the current #1 contenders for the tag team champions. The tag team champions have been trying so hard to get this win in this non-title matchup. Through the Consequences, fighting to just earn the right to be able to say that they can challenge for those titles. They're currently 6-0, trying to go 7-0 here in TWF. But the James gang looking to cut their momentum short. The cover. D'Angelo Marcus waiting patiently for the tag by Maverick Blade, but Maverick Blade getting a full head of steam before he does a corkscrew body press to Nick James, and then an enziguri, following it up with a springboard forearm, taking down Nick James quickly. Matthew James trying to get the tag to his brother. Off the ropes, and a running kick, taking him down, going for the cover now. Matthew James coming for the pin breakup. These guys have been going for about 15 minutes now, putting on a clinic of tag team wrestling here tonight. A wheelbarrow cutter, beautifully executed by D'Angelo Marcus as, D'Angelo Marcus flexing a little too hard as Matthew James trying to get some momentum back on his side. and picks him up for a quick Samoan drop. Matthew James, firing on all cylinders, follows him out of the ring as Nick James trying to pull himself up. Referee starting the count as these two fighting on the outside in a quick double boot scrape, trying to rip that face open, get him busted open like he did to his brother. Matthew James sending D'Angelo Marcus right into those steel steps. The longest reigning TWF heavyweight champion, able to just keep on going. This match is insane, Dallas. Luthez press to D'Angelo Marcus. These guys have been going for like 17 minutes, almost going on 18 here. Just fighting tooth and nail, trying to get the James gang don't want to lose to Truth and Consequences. Just winning those tag team titles, they don't want to give Truth and Consequences a chance to even think they have a chance at those titles. All competitors getting back in the ring. Matthew James tries to tie up with him, but no luck. And oh no, ladies and gentlemen, D'Angelo Marcus, a big shoulder tackle taking Matthew James down. I thought he was going to look forward the judge, jury, and execution. D'Angelo Marcus flexing, ready for Nick James to come in. Oh, he's just getting himself a little pumped, doing some push-ups now. Call this man a freak. Might even have done a little too much showboating as Matthew James is able to get right back up. Thought he's going to pick him up for a pile driver, as we've seen Matthew James do in desperate times. Pull up a pile driver and try to break their neck in the middle of a match when desperate times call for desperate actions. Drop kick to the back to the back of D'Angelo Marcus. Looks like he's in the ropes, but referee's going to allow it. And the James gang pick up the pinfall win over D'Angelo Marcus and ending the undefeated streak of Truth and Consequences. But the James gang showing back up, getting jumped by the core. The core said they weren't going to be here today, and they showed up and beat and just jumped the James gang after their match here tonight. Nick and Matthew James getting the win, but at what cost here when the James gang weren't able to even celebrate here in Indianapolis as Dylan Storm and Cody Storm jumped them here tonight. Wearing the black and white, it feels like a ghost of the former Dylan Storm, the man who just wanted to kill you and win your belt. I think there's an ominous feeling to the villain here as him and his brother jumped the James gang here tonight. Moving on to some women's action as Amber will take on CC Prism. Amber, CC. The prediction is live, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to get your channel points in.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring.
Amber making her way to the ring. These two ladies trying to get a shot at Emily Montana's United States Women's Championship here in the TWF. Amber making her debut to TWF this season, doing a great job, trying her best to get some wins. She's gotten a couple, but she's also lost a couple matches, so forth, and she's trying to get her first title win here in the TWF. Looking to get maybe her hands around that TWF Women's United States Championship. TWF airs every Monday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern, and also every Thursday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time and 6 p.m. Eastern for those of you who want to watch along. TWF is also in its Warrior arc, trying to find all the newest, greatest talents to join the Tagged Up Wrestling Federation. TWF presents itself as the best of the best, and we're looking for you, the best of the best, to come join us. CC Prism making her debut, wrestling from GPW. That's where she got her training and she got hired here by the Cactus after seeing her in a couple matches over at GPW. Said, I need to get a star like her over on our roster. And she is here now. Firing on all cylinders here tonight is the TWF Monday Mayhem, riding high off the carnage of the Crosstown Classic pay-per-view yesterday. Beautiful carnage, and Jack Powell, you know he's got to be angry after not winning that World Heavyweight Championship, choking under the bright lights. Garrett Rogers fired up after taking an L in Chicago on Thursday, but on that Sunday, he knew it was do or die time if he wanted to keep the title. Just like CC Prism knows that it's do or die time if she wants to win that United States Women's Championship. She's got to put on a brave mask to take on Amber, as these two ladies are about to do battle here. 500 tokens on CC Prism. You can get your channel points in if you want to try, if you think you could get any more to win, as Amber goes with a go behind and tries to take her down. CC Prism locked and a leg lock by Amber here, as Amber delivers a double foot stomp here in this #1 contenders match for the TWF Women's United States Championship. These two women trying to find out who will go face Emily Montana for the Women's Championship, coming up at Philly Pandemonium, coming up in 2 weeks. And what up, Mario? We're on match number 5 now? Amber in control of this matchup over CC Prism. CC Prism trying her best to take on Amber.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
Amber going to the top turnbuckle. Prism giving her time to do what she wants. Tries to walk out of the way like Samoa Joe, but no, it takes a little bit of it. Doesn't get quite all of it, though. But Sunday, May 11th, we will have TWF's Philly Pandemonium live in Philadelphia. We're going to be bringing you the hard-hitting action. And later in May, I believe we're also going to be having our Monarchy Madness pay-per-view. They are working now, Mario. The booty pop and moonsault by Amber here on CC Prism. And Prism takes it with stride, as now she's stalking her prey, talking some smack to her, as Prism pulls herself up and says, no, you're not going to talk smack to me. I'm one of the best in the ring. I'm one of the GPW's finest. And now I'm going to be one of TWF's finest. technically I need to, but and we already have so many other pay-per-views. We could do an Atlanta pay-per-view. It just won't be for you know, maybe like 2 months, because I believe I have 6 pay-per-views lined up already. I just got to figure out the order of what we're gonna do them all. The crowd here in Indianapolis getting fired up over the matchups, cheering on the women's wrestling as CC Prism diving down from the top turnbuckle all the way down to that cold hard mat on the outside of the ring here in the TWF arena. I know it's not actually the TWF arena, but I just don't know any of the basketball arenas in Indianapolis. Easy Prism going up top, looking to get a big dive from the top rope. Maybe not June 15th, but no, June 15th looks like it would be about right. And a quick roll-up pin by CC Prism after a power bomb to get the win. Monarchy Madness is coming up soon. You're right, Mario. I did say I wanted it in the summer. May's not technically summer yet. Unless you get to like late May, isn't that like when summer? No, doesn't it start like June 2nd or something? I don't remember when summer starts. I know it's sometime. CC Nivens with a pop-up Styles Clash to take Piper Nivens, or to take down Amber down. So you can just straight. Actually, that's actually no. You're making a lot of sense. We could do all our regular shows going down to in bigger cities, going south till we get to Atlanta, and then we could shoot for rights to LA, which would take us from Atlanta probably to like Texas, and maybe like Las Vegas, and until we get to Los Angeles. The roadmap of TWF is looking cool this year, with a couple trips abroad. We plan to hit Japan, and we plan to hit England at least twice this year on the England stops. My birthday is on the 24th of May, and I was just asking about Atlanta pay-per-view, so you can straight shoot from south. Yet I'm not against it. Making their debut here, a classically trained wrestler from he's wrestled in CMML, AAA, trained by Rey Mysterio Jr., by Conan, and by Ultimo Dragon. This man is a man possessed, and he said he wants nobody else to face more than Jacob Morrison for that television championship in his side of his first TWF matchup. Facing off against Jacob Morrison. Jacob Morrison making his return to TWF last Thursday and getting a big win, and coming back with a vengeance, taking that TWF television title. Let me put up the prediction. Tiburon. Asino. Jacob Morrison. Predictions going live, ladies and gentlemen. Will Jacob Morrison retain his TWF Television Championship, or will Tibion Asino get a big win here tonight?
The following is scheduled for one fall and is for the World's Television Light Heavyweight Championship.
Check out your channel points in on who you think is going to win this matchup. Will Jacob Morrison successfully defend his television championship, or will Tibion Asino, a world-class luchador, make his way in TWF? Birmingham, Alabama, Nashville, Tennessee. All right, Mario, I like that. You just gotta make sure you're actually in the stream when we start it, so that way I know where I'm gonna be calling from. Like if we do like Nashville, Tennessee, or we'd be like from Bridgestone Arena or something. I'd need to know that. Tibion Asino making his way to the ring. Trained by a TWF legend known only as Daddy Shark. He makes his way to TWF, and the Cactus knew that with the lineage that this man has, he has one of the best. He's going to be one of the best wrestlers. Tibion Asino, the Killer Shark, ladies and gentlemen. The chat going crazy for those at home watching along to TWF. He will be facing off against a vicious opponent, the TWF television champion, Jacob Morrison. A man who's got a chip on his shoulder since he's came back, spit shining his belt. AK tokens, but on Tibion Asino getting the win here tonight. Mario even believes in it. Only 2,000 tokens bet currently on Jacob Morrison. Got about a minute left if you want to get your tokens in, ladies and gentlemen. Two luchadors facing off against each other. Tibion Asino and Jacob Morrison. This guy stinks. Tibion Asino, one of the premier luchadors in Mexico today, picked up for a killer price. Pun intended.
We take Lex Luger in the jab. We want the gold, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you.
You heard it here. That's what Tibion Asino had to say before his match. He said, Jacob Morrison, we want the gold. We coming for you, sucker.
Know your role and shut your mouth, you jabroni.
The TWF Television Champion.
Dummy. Yeah.
Showcasing what might be the last time he holds that title for a long time. Or will Tibion Asino get a big win here tonight? Debuting in TWF, winning that television championship would put him on the map, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody you would have to look out for that might become a TWF World Heavyweight Champion. Matchup about to start as the referee calls for it. Jacob Morrison not gonna let any mind games get played, as that is Tibion Asino's main concern, playing some mind games. Both men missing their springboards as Jacob Morrison sends them off the ropes. And a Hurricane Rana. trying to get the crowd on his side. Jacob Morrison showboating for the fans here in Indianapolis, Indiana. A quick cover by by Tribianasino. There's a big forearm by Morrison. Pushing him into the corner. That's what I figured. That's probably like the best venue to do a big wrestling show that we try to book. You never know, man. A standing Spanish fly. Troy, do you want to give that a fun name? You want to call that the shark? Is that like your finisher? Is that like just a random move you have in your move set? I want to call your finish like the shark attack. What a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker by Tribianasino. Springboard. Random move in the moveset, insane. Tribianasino in control of this matchup over Jacob Morrison, looking for maybe another Tiburon. I thought I was saying it right. I asked my Spanish-speaking coworkers how to say it, and they said I was saying it right. Only a 2-count cover. Morrison trying to keep it. Yay, sports. This is supposed to be rush. This is supposed to translate to Killer Shark. Troy's also right. It doesn't matter. But a quick roll up by Tribianasino, looking for the quick pin. Takes him down quickly with a bicycle kick by Morrison. Going to the second rope, and no, I thought he might have been looking for a big finish there, but no, instead he just hits a big axe handle from the top, or from the second rope. I guess not even the top. Legacy Arena is the only Birmingham, Alabama. Isn't there a state in between Tennessee and Georgia? All right, we got to hit something in Kentucky. That's my only other request. As that's where I was born. So gotta hit the old birthing grounds. I know that's between Indiana and Tennessee, so I just swore there was another state in between Tennessee and Georgia. Oh, we also got to hit North Carolina because I want to do Greensboro Coliseum. A 2 count as the referee continues the count. Tribianasino going off for the fans here on his debut match. Morrison playing the role perfectly of the champion, knowing that he can't. Well, you can say that, but you can whine. You can play the heel perfectly there and just talk, to cut a promo about how much Kentucky sucks. That's fine, but that's just where I was born, so. cover here by Jacob Morrison on Trevion Asino, but Asino kicking out at a 1 count. Showing a lot of fire in this young shark. Might have the blood in the water though for Jacob Morrison, a Death Valley driver. Ooh, that sucks. All right, we'll just have a crazy one-off show where we go to Greensboro Coliseum for some reason, because I fucking love Greensboro Coliseum. And just as I say how much I love Greensboro Coliseum, Trevion Asino dethroned Jacob Morrison here tonight on Monday Mayhem and becomes the new TWF television champion. Proving that the television championship is a star showcase here, making or breaking talent. Trevion Asino showing off a beautiful standing Spanish fly from the top rope. This is where everything went downhill. Yeah, there's just nothing I want to do in South Carolina. North Carolina is where it's at, man. Trevion Asino with a big win. Proving that he is what the TV title is all about. Showcasing new talent and being that motherfucker. The cover here as Morrison trying to desperately cling on to the title. An unsuccessful win. Trevion Asino, just beautiful executed moves all night here tonight.
Here is your winner and new World Television Light Heavyweight Champion, the Predator.
Trevion Asino celebrating here in Indianapolis with his first win. We'll see how long he holds that title for and keeps his winning record here in TWF. 1 win here tonight against the none and other than Jacob Morrison, taking the title away from him tonight. We move into singles action as Samantha James is taking on a new debuting superstar here in the TWF, Sandra Sammartino. Give me my gold. I already paid you guys, you suckers out. Ooh. Games. Oh, I don't need a third one. I wanted to click the timer. All right, predictions live for those of you who want to bet along. Sandra Sammartino, and debuting superstar here. Well, I guess I have to. Well, Troy, it's all about watching along, and the more you participate in chat, the higher you end up on the power rankings, and whole faction takes the gold. I mean, currently the James Gang is holding the tag team titles. A fatal 4-way ladder match could be brewing in the works here for TWF. Well, Mario, that's fine and dandy. We could do Greensville, but like, my whole thing is I just love Greensboro Coliseum, so I just wanted to make a stop happen there. Sandra Sammartino making her way to the ring, debuting here in TWF. From New York City. She's a girl of hard knocks and hard forearms, and we'll have to see how she does tonight. Debuting against the world champion who had a dominant match and destroying Kennedy Ann. Kennedy Ann still resting up in the hospital here. Staying at St. Michael's currently in Chicago, Illinois. Samantha James dominated her in an Iron Woman match for 15 minutes, and the score was 11-1. Kennedy Ann fought, but just after the broken ribs and a broken arm, she couldn't keep competing against Samantha James and the onslaught she brought it that night. Will Sandra Sammartino stand the same fate, or will we see a star being born here tonight?
And her opponent, representing the Bludgeon Brothers, from Orlando, Florida, the Women's World Champions,
Samantha James, the TWF Women's Champion, two-time Women's Champion, winning the title at the end of 2K24 and vacating it. Now holds the title once again in TWF, proving that she's one of the best women's wrestlers around. Of the ECHL. It's not even an NHL arena? That's so fucking booty cheeks. Sandra Sammartino and Samantha James standing in the ring. She sidesteps the first punch and they grapple into a lockup. Jockeying for positions, these two ladies trying to figure out what's going to happen here in this matchup as Sandra Sammartino with the go behind. Samantha James working out into a go behind of her own. Two ladies putting on a technical class of chain wrestling here. And an arm drag to a headlock takedown. Samantha James reversing into a head scissor leg lock. And keeps it applied as Sandra Sammartino trying to get out of it. This is the same kind of aggression that Samantha James showed against Kennedy Ann last night in Chicago. Repeated strikes right to the face as our referee's right in the fucking way of our hard cam shot, as always. Mario betting 700 tokens on Sandra Sammartino. Puff Lord betting 136 on the current champion as Samantha James. Bro, did you watch that? Did you see that match? She killed Kennedy Ann last night, bro. Garrett Rogers sign in the crowd. Somebody's a fan of Garrett Rogers here in Indianapolis. The cover. Sandra Sammartino facing off against the women's world champion in a non-title matchup. Kennedy Ann is issued a rematch for the world title as it's in her contract. The closest. I mean that's cool. It's yet again not Greensboro. Recovery here by Samantha James on Sandra Sammartino. Excuse me. All these S names. Picking it up for the Samantha bomb. Yeah, but Greensboro Coliseum is an awesome venue. You also have to hit Hampton, Virginia. Go to the mothership. I don't remember what it's actually called. I think it's just called the Hampton Coliseum. Shooting star press. Doesn't get the job done is Sandra Sammartino, proving that she's a tough son of a bitch here tonight. Samantha James, will she show her props tonight? Samantha James beautifully executing the Sister James slam. Will Samantha James get the win here? Defeating the newcomer, but newcomer showing that she might be a star in the making. Just might need to polish her up. Samantha James though just going crazy tonight. Just keeping that wave of momentum that she had. And the 3 count. No, it is Sandra Sammartino kicking out, but Samantha James not happy about that. Picks her up for that Sister James bomb. Troy betting small on the champion paid out well for him. And look at that. Gambling's bad for you kids. We love the rush. Maybe we use for the TWF Royal Rumble in 2K25. Not a bad take. The inaugural one, and then we keep coming back to the Coliseum. I like that idea. Greensboro is also a really big wrestling town. It does, and it could lead to our big finish pay-per-view before we go to 2K26, which is what I want to do this year. Our main event of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Harrison B and Jack Powell team up together and take on Richard Mason and Garrett Rogers one-on-one on a tag team matchup. The Lights Out champion double duty here tonight as Garrett Rogers will face off against the challengers Harrison B and Jack Powell. Any suggestions for pay-per-view names you have for TWF and Tagged Up Tyler? Along with Twitch recommendation streams, you can always go to the Discord and recommend it in our suggestion page. That way it can always be written down and I'll remember it. Prediction for the tag team match for our main event here between the World Heavyweight Champions and the challengers. Harrison B wants one really bad at Richard Mason for that Lights Out Championship. And Jack Powell wants one more shot to beat Garrett Rogers for that World Heavyweight Championship coming up soon. They're both looking to get waves of momentum to ride on to here. The former and inaugural Lights Out champion, Harrison B, wants to get that belt back that he believes is rightfully his. Atlanta Ring Riot sounds crazy. I mean, we're doing LA riots. I guess we could do multiple riots, but what about the Atlanta Assault? Jack Powell, a man hunting for that World Heavyweight Championship here in the TWF. A man, one half of the longest reigning tag team champions in the Street Profits with the Street Thugs with Palmer Sturgeon. Jack Powell hunting Garrett Rogers down. Wasn't able to get the win on Sunday in Chicago. You know he's going to want to amp up the stipulations to win that title. He's challenged for that title twice against people like the likes of Matthew James and Jonesy. He thinks that he's ready to be crowned the TWF World's Heavyweight Champion. Jack Powell, some people think that he's not human. They think that this man's a beast. Be teaming on with Hardcore Harrison B. Man, some people call him better than money can buy.
And from Maine, weighing in at 360 pounds, the Action Champion, the Brawler, Richard
Richard Mason, the Lights Out champion, making his way to the ring. Had a match earlier tonight, showcasing some dominant stamina, shutting down anybody who wants to challenge him, knowing that Harrison B is the only one who can. Just wanted to prove to Harrison that he's a tough SOB in the ring. Garrett Rogers recruited him as his tag team champion, saying he's one man who beat him, so he wants him on his side. Man that is able to beat him in the ring is a man worth having on his side here in the TWF. Oh, will Mason try to cost him a loss here? We'll have to see. Making his way to the ring, the TWF World's Heavyweight Championship. It's not on the line, but it's around this man's waist. Garrett Rogers, a four-time TWF Heavyweight Champion here in TWF Tagged Up Wrestling Federation.
Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 245 pounds, the Pro Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, Garrett the
Stretch. I do like the new attires, Dallas. I think they look very good for a tag team. Garrett Rogers showcasing that World's Heavyweight Championship. Something that he lovingly crafted here in the for the TWF. Said his blood, sweat, and tears went into making this and building this company inside of this ring, while the Cactus handled the extremities. Big slam onto Harrison B, who might be very sore after his lights out match against Richard Mason last night, but he said he's willing to compete and wants to show that he's hardcore and prove that he's truly hardcore. Garrett Rogers resting on the outside of the ring here. Covered by Harrison B quickly into the match. Would this be all she wrote? Each state brawl. I feel like we could workshop a name, and we'll find a good one for an Atlanta-based pay-per-view. Collar and elbow tie up. Mason getting the boots up. The fans here in Indianapolis, knowing that what they want to see that main event match between Powell and Rogers. They want to see that title on the line. Although I feel like I have more fun trying to plan my own journey than where the TWF goes. But I don't know, man. We'll talk about it later. We'll find a better name, and we'll see what's up. At least before we start making logos. If you don't respond to it before we start making logos, we're gonna like I want a big amount of names to choose from. Garrett Rogers and Jack Powell in the ring. The fans here getting to see what they want to see. They want to see Jack Powell take that title off of Rogers, but Rogers wants to weasel his way out of it like he does everything. Going for a cover is Harrison B on Garrett Rogers. A big wave of momentum would shift here in the universe of TWF if Garrett Rogers took a pinfall loss to Harrison B. What about Atlanta Aftershock? Atlanta Scorcher, not a bad one either. A spine buster. Will Richard Mason take the pinfall here? But no, he shows the fortitude as a champion here in TWF. The champion, the lights out champion here. In a actual normal match. We see it from time to time. But that title will always be defended in a lights out championship match. Harrison B facing his rival Richard Mason here tonight in this tag team match. What about Southern hostility instead of Southern hospitality? Go behind. Harrison B with a big suplex. And turns him inside out. Aaron Rodgers coming to break it up though and keep the match alive. Off the ropes, Garrett Rodgers goes for a big kick, but Harrison B is able to stop him. Harrison B and Garrett Rodgers facing off, but not for the title here tonight in this tag team contest. Oh, Harrison B in a rivalry currently against Richard Mason, but oh no, Harrison kicking out of Garrett Rodgers' powerbomb. We'll have to see how this affects the match and continues. A big shot by Garrett Rodgers and off spinning forearm, the follow up, that flurry of offense. Garrett Rodgers haunting a little bit too much to the crowd here tonight, and Jack Powell getting a big upset, but Richard Mason there to save him here tonight. Takes it down, Jack Powell with a big slam. Powerbomb by Garrett Rodgers, one of his signature moves. The Powell kicking out. Where was this energy last night when he wanted that opportunity against the champion? Garrett Rodgers with a big frog splash from the top of Champion's corner, calling that the Thunderbolt frog splash. And the kick out. Harrison be able to break it up. A big dive from Richard Mason to Jack Powell laying in the center of the ring. But a leg sweep by Jack Powell taking him down. Harrison B with a Hotlanta's. I like Hotlanta. What about Hardcore Hotlanta? You know, with the pay-per-view be a bunch of death matches and stuff. Harrison B flying from the top rope onto his rival Richard Mason. And going for a pinfall, something that he's not used to doing here in the TWF as of late, doing these lights out matches. Richard Mason going for a double axe handle takedown onto Harrison B, but Harrison sidesteps out of it and he gets a German suplex into a ripcord lariat. Shades of Tyler the Cactus there. This is our main event of TWF Monday Mayhem tonight. Garrett Rodgers, Jack Powell will be facing each other soon, but Harrison B and Richard Mason will also be facing one another soon for that Lights Out Championship. Sizzling. What about Sizzling Hotlanta? Because I like that one. I like taking the Hotlanta name. A big frog splash, but it wasn't enough here tonight to get the win. Harrison B with the cactus style lariat. And was that all she wrote here? Harrison B and Jack Pal getting the win here as Harrison B gets the pinfall victory over his big bitter rival who took his lights out champion. Jack Pal coasting along in that win though. Harrison and Jack Pal with a big team up win here tonight in an instant classic match for our main event of TWF Monday Mayhem. We'll do a quick rundown of the show. And our opening matchup, we have El Tigre de Purpura facing Brandon Galaxy in his TWF Monday Mayhem return. He did take a loss to El Tigre de Purpura. The Mad Dog Miller faced Richard Mason, as Richard Mason said he wanted to get an extra match in. And Mad Dog Miller gave his heart out there tonight, but just couldn't get the win against Richard Mason, the lights out champion. Nick James and Matthew James teamed up once again here. The James Gang are tag team champions to face Truth and Consequences. Easily eked out a win where we saw the core jump the James Gang afterwards. We saw Amber versus CC Prism in a #1 contenders match for the TWF United States Women's Championship. CC Prism will be challenging Emily Montana for that. Your eyes peeled for the announcement when that happens. Tiburon Asino and Jacob Morrison faced each other in a television championship match here, and Jacob Morrison did lose his title. You know that he's going to be wanting that title back from Tiburon Asino. Sandra San Martino and Samantha James faced each other one-on-one, and man was it a slobber knocker, but Sandra was not able to get the win over the very dominant Samantha James. Who's going to stop Samantha James here in the TWF Women's World Heavyweight Championship? And our main event was that tag team matchup of Harrison B and Jack Powell taking on Richard Mason and Garrett Rogers in tag team action. Thanks for paying my vacation in Cabo. Yeah, you know, after a brutal match with like that with with Big Red Benson, I think you deserve some time off. Well, we got some other titles that we're trying to get over here in TWF, but in the meantime, you will be back on action and Thursday, Colt, having a non-title matchup. We'll see how you do. Until next time, I'm Tagged Up Tyler. This has been TWFtv Monday Mayhem on April 28th, 2025. I'll see you guys soon. Bye!